Welcome to the third episode of First Past the Post podcast. I'm delighted to say I'm with my mate Liam Fitzgerald again. How are you, mate?
Great, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm glad we're getting another episode out shortly after the arc. We'll obviously touch on the arc. We'll review it. You know what happened. It was a bit of a ridiculous result, wasn't it?
Yeah, massive shock, but a great race.
It was.
Nevertheless.
It was indeed, and we like to start off just going over our tips from last week's episode. Just quickly go through the points and between the two of us, who's winning so far in our little tipping competition. So anyone who listened to last week's episode, obviously you'll know that we tipped up 3 races at Newmarket and 3 races at Ascot. Both of us had a couple of the same horses, so we'll just quickly go through, how many points we got last week. So the first race at Newmarket, you had Favourite Child came third.
Was that the 30 runner handicap?
I think it was, mate. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's not bad. Picking
out
exactly.
of 30 runners. Yeah, I think it was quite a big price as well, 20-1.
Yeah. Yeah, mine came nowhere, so that was 1 point for you for third place. Second race, you had third place again, first officer, and I had the second place, Philistine. So that's 2 points for me, 1 point for you. And in the third race at Newmarket, we both actually had Flame of Freedom, which didn't come anywhere. So that 0 points on that one. I mean, we don't seem to do well, do we, when we pick the same horse?
Yeah, never goes our way.
Mind you, in the first race at Ascot that we tipped up, we both had Dakota Gold again, came third, so that was 1 point for the pair of us. In the second one, you had Title, and I had Hookham, who went on to win that race.
Yeah, great performance as well, by the way.
Yeah, I think we said it last week on the pod. I had a feeling he would bounce back, and he definitely did, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
So that was 3 points for me. And the last race we tipped up was we both had Call Me Ginger, came nowhere, and we both got 0 points. So and just to touch on as well, we did have a nap that did win. Liam, your nap did win, didn't it?
Yeah, I had Trushan over at Longchamp.
And he looked very impressive, didn't he?
Yeah, excellent run. Looked like a real champion. Obviously, one of my favourite, Stradivarius, come second, but no shame in losing to Trushan, especially in them conditions as well on that ground.
Exactly, and that was a top performance from your nap. So, as everyone knows as well, we did say in our first episode, if one of us gets our nap that comes in, that's 5 points. That adds on
lovely jubbly
to our tipping competition point total. Excuse me. And so far, you are winning by a point, mate. It's 16-15.
Couldn't be much tighter.
No, so stay tuned for our tips that we'll be picking out for Saturday's racing at Newmarket, which will hopefully add to that. I'd say not bad scoring so far.
Yeah, not bad. I'd like to have a few more winners. I've been getting a few places.
Exactly. You love it. You're loving a third.
Yeah, but I'm definitely aiming for a few more winners.
I'm sure you'll get it, mate. And so shall we go back to last week then? Last Sunday, the Arc over at Longchamp. We'll just give it a little bit of a review, shall we? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, where do we start from the winner? I mean, if anyone hasn't seen, have a look on our socials. We actually clipped up our thoughts that we gave on the winner, Torquated Tassa. I mean, we didn't say anything stupid. It was a big price, and he's actually gone on to somehow achieve the Arc this year, which was mental. I mean, I think he went off at 80-1. So quite a astonishing result.
Absolutely mind-blowing. I couldn't believe my eyes.
I mean, he stayed on really well, didn't he? I mean,
Yeah,
from,
really, really well.
furlong, half furlong out, and then led within like the last 50 yards, and then you saw him coming down, and unfortunately for us, hoping Tarnawa would do the business, Torquato Tasso just came down and down the outside and snatched it off her, really.
Yeah. Just on Tarnora, I thought she ran a massive race, especially giving weight to some of them horses there, like Hurricane Lane, Adiyar, Snowfall. I thought she was fantastic. And on another day, she wins that. I've not taken nothing away from the winner. I mean, obviously, best horse on the day, but on another day, I think Tarnawa wins that. And she was just beaten by a good staying horse on them conditions.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, Tarnawa, she ran such a good race, and we knew that was expected. I mean, there was a little bit of a drift, wasn't there, in the market
Yeah, I was
over
surprised
here
at
for
that.
her.
Yeah.
I think did
It
she
was
go off?
mental.
Yeah.
I think she went out to 7-1, back into 5-1, but in France she was 11-4 favourite.
Mm. So yeah, it was interesting how that drift happened. But I mean, obviously we were speaking on the day before the race, and you especially, mate, you were still very, very confident, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah, I really did think she had a great chance, and like I say, on another day, who knows what could have been. But this horse racing is just one of them things. Anything can happen. I mean, we've seen it before, haven't we? A big outsider comes and causes a massive upset like that. But I just didn't expect it. Not with some of the horses you had in that field, especially as well.
Yeah, I mean, another thing on Tarnawa there in the art. I mean, she did start slowly, didn't she? Getting out the stalls.
I think if she gets a better breakaway from the stalls, she goes on to win that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was annoying because obviously watching that, and then you see her come out slow, you think, oh god, and then, but I mean, what a ride from Christophe Suleiman. I mean, that video came out, didn't it? Jockey cam of
Yeah,
him on board
quality video, by the
Sarno,
way.
and it was a great ride. If you haven't seen it, check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. If she came out quicker, I do think she would have gone on to win that. But I mean, touching on third and fourth place, Hurricane Lane and Adiyar, Charlie Appleby's
Yeah.
runners. I mean, how did you think they did? I mean, were you expecting a bit more from Adiyar, considering obviously the King George and Derby winner?
I don't think he liked the ground. I think you could tell. I think also, I think Buick went a little bit too early, and especially obviously wasn't coated ground. I thought Hurricane Lane was quite impressive. I thought ran a big race.
Yeah, I mean, with Adiyar, he sort of weakened, didn't he? The final 100 yards, where obviously you expect to, you want a horse to push on, but like you say, that was probably maybe because of the ground as well.
Yeah.
And I think Snowfall. I mean, touching on Snowfall, that was very disappointing. I thought finishing sixth.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There was
100%.
no impression really in the final sort of furlong or maybe 2 furlongs out. There weren't.
Yeah.
I mean, we did mention, didn't we, on when we previewed the Arc? It was going to be a big challenge for her to sort of cope with the pressure of being in a race with those, other top horses.
Yeah.
And I mean, look what's happened. She hasn't come out in a good way at all, has she? Really?
No, not at all. Yeah, like you said, I wasn't impressed at all by her really in that race. But I'd like to say I thought Sealiway, who came fifth, also ran a very big race.
Yeah.
Especially at the odds as well. I think went off at 50-1, was it?
I think, yeah, or maybe just a tad more. I think, yeah.
Yeah, but ran a really big race.
And just a shout out there to my uncle, who actually backed Sealiway each way, and he only had 4 places, so that was that was very, very unfortunate. That
Yeah, unlucky.
And I mean, obviously we touched on the Japanese raiders that came over. I mean, Chronogenesis finished 7th under Oisin Murphy again.
Hmm.
Another one who was sort of prominent when joining the main group after sort of the beginning of the
Yeah,
race, but then weakened out. And I suppose you were expecting a bit more from a horse that was talked up so much over in Japan, thinking this horse can stay and could actually be in the frame, but didn't manage to do so.
yeah. I thought it was interesting. Sheen Murphy, the ride at did you see at the start when he took Chronogenesis out wide
Mm,
instead of having the rail and
yeah,
then
yeah.
tried to meet him?
Mm,
I thought that was very interesting tactics.
yeah. It was, yeah. Obviously it hasn't paid out, but you do see that, don't you? Like some jockeys do take
Yeah,
them out wide.
I mean it's great when it pays off.
Yeah.
It's lovely to watch, but unfortunately didn't happen.
No, and then I mean, for the rest of the race, I mean, obviously, Alan Kerr, you could say, was one who there was a bit of money that came for it. Ended up finishing 9th.
Yeah.
Raced quite keenly, I thought. Led
Hmm.
from the start, but again weakened out. Mojo Star wasn't really impressive. And then obviously another big price horse, Broom, who was sort of again another one that was maybe talked up a bit at a bigger price, thinking it could cause a bit of a shock, but
Yeah.
ends up finishing 11th. And then obviously you had quite a few of the others just in the final few placings at the end.
Hmm.
Rabiar 12th, Baby Rider 13th, and then Deep Bond, the second Japanese horse that came last. So
Hmm.
yeah, all in all, I
The one
thought,
thing I
yeah,
the
go on,
one
go
thing
on.
I would say is I would have loved to seen that race on like good ground.
Yeah,
It would have been great to watch.
100%. And I think I said to you after it about Wonderful Tonight. I
Yeah,
genuinely believe, you know, honestly, I think she would have won.
conditions would have
Uh,
definitely suited her. She would have run a big race.
And it's just unfortunate, obviously, what happened to her. I mean,
Yeah,
she was going to be there. And I honestly, the way it was, could have done it. But, Torquator Tasso at 80 to 1 comes and
fair play, fair play.
surprises everybody. And I think just a quick thing to mention there about Torquator Tasso, connections of the horse have confirmed that this hero of the Arc will return next season.
Hmm.
With actually a view to defending his crown in 12 months' time, which I find very interesting indeed. Really, the main objective apparently is to go back to the Arc next year and do it all again.
It'd be interesting to see if he can. I've just had a look on Sky Bet. He's 10 to 1 to win the Arc next year.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. Like that's their main objective again. But I mean, yeah, fair
Yeah,
play to connections to go if that's the main aim to go again. Then good luck to them, and
yeah,
that should be
fair play,
interesting.
fair
Yeah,
play. It's good to actually see connections want to have another go at it
yeah,
rather than just retire him to
mm,
stud.
mm.
So fair play to them for that. Um,
Yeah, 100%.
I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully Tarnawa running the Breeders' Cup turf. Hopefully she makes it out there.
And just we'll just wrap up by reviewing the arc. Sorry, Tarnawa. Do you think is she going to be staying in training for the rest of maybe this next year and then going for the arc again? Can you see that happening?
I don't think it will, unfortunately, but I would love to see it happen. I
I mean,
mean, okay, like I said last week, Aga Khan doesn't usually keep him in
no.
training. His mares, like 5-year-old mares, so a 6-year-old, I mean, I can't see it, to be
Mm,
honest. But like I said, it'd be great to see. I'm a big fan of her, so I'd love to see it. Fingers crossed.
yeah, good luck to her. So obviously we've got very decent racing coming up tomorrow and Saturday, which of course we'll go through. Just I think to mention tomorrow at Newmarket, you've got the Fillies Mile, which is probably the biggest race of the day out there tomorrow, and a horse which is very, very exciting in Spiral for Dettori. Obviously, she's the one being talked about the most, isn't she? If she can get the business done again tomorrow. I mean, she's had obviously an impressive debut performance at Newmarket and followed up by even more dominant displays, really, in the way she's won the races at Sandown and the Mayhill at Doncaster. And obviously, she's topped the betting for the Guineas next season and the Oaks. And I've got a little anti-post bet on her for the Guineas. I think 9-1. I think she's now probably going around sixes now, I think. So, I'm hoping she can, win again tomorrow. And then, I mean, what will that be? That'll stretch her unbeaten record to 4, won't it?
4. Yeah, 4.
Very exciting horse. Obviously, daughter of Frankel. She's obviously so far lived up to the expectations. I think, you've got to think she'll do the business tomorrow, don't you?
Yeah, it's going to be our hardest test so far for sure, but I fancy her to do the business. From every time I've watched her, she looks like a really smart filly. She's really impressed me. Her turn of foot is incredible. So, yeah, if I was having a bet on that race, my money would certainly be with her.
A lot of it as well. at those odds. I think Cheveley Park's managing director, Chris Richardson, came out and said she's done everything right so far. Lovely filly, working well, but like you say there, it's a big step up, isn't it? She hasn't encountered sort of rain, bit of soft ground. But look, I mean, good luck to her. And I think if she does win the Fillies Mile tomorrow at Newmarket, then that anti-post bet of mine for the Guineas will be looking very, very good, I think.
Yeah, good luck to you, mate.
I mean, it's not a massive price, not like your Tarnawa for the Arc at 35-1, but 9-1. She's currently 6s, and you never know. Closer to the Guineas, she'll probably go off shorter than 6 as well, wouldn't she? So
yeah, I think she will.
Let's hope she does business. That'll be interesting to see how she gets on tomorrow at Newmarket. And touching on Newmarket, shall we tip up our horses for Saturday's meeting then?
Yeah. Do you want to start or shall I?
No, you can give your first pick, mate.
Okay, so the 10-1 at Newmarket, I've gone for Exminster. Said he's stepping up in class, but has a huge weight advantage over many horses in the field. Andrea Azzini takes the ride, and he's trained by Edward Bethel, whose horses have consistently been going very close recently as well. So I've gone for Exminster in this.
Right, yeah, 110. I've gone for American Star, Sheen Murphy, Ed Walker trains. Struggled in the gym crack, but resumed his progress back down in class at Newbury last month, beating Croupier, who is obviously running in this as well. And Al Triaf, both wins on good to soft ground, and I think he's a major player. I think under Sheen Murphy as well, and I think the form of obviously beating Croupier and Al Triaf, who are probably the two other sort of hopes in that race. He's already beaten them, so I think he will take that. American Star for me.
Decent. In the next race, the 1:45, 1:45 Newmarket, I've actually taken on Hafit. I've gone with Goldspur.
Have you?
Yeah, I've gone with him. To be honest, at the back of my mind a bit, I thought Louis is definitely going to go for Hafit, so I'm going to try and change it up and get some points over him. But yeah, I've gone for Goldspur. Godolphin Colt by the Barwi looked really impressive on his debut at Sandown, winning by 6.5 lengths. Looked to have had a great turn of foot, and I'm hoping he'll do well despite stepping up a few classes. but it'll be hard against
Yeah.
Haffett.
Interesting. Both obviously Charlie Appleby runners.
Yeah.
And it should be a decent battle there because Haffett as well. I mean, Godolphin, he was 2.1 million this horse cost.
Yeah.
Son of
Dubai.
Debawi, and he did actually have a winning start to life, showing quite a good sort of attitude for a horse on debut, winning over 7 furlongs at Newmarket. Showed quite, it was a bit about him the way he won that race. And I do, I think it's probably between Haffett or Goldspur, and obviously I've gone Haffett, and I just think sort of he'll bounce back from his second run where he did come second. He tracked the leader after furlong out, and then he sort of hung left a bit inside the final sort of half furlong, and ended up really not being a match for the winner. But look, with a horse of that pedigree, and that's a big cost, to pay for a horse. It's expensive. It's an exciting horse, so I think Haffett returns to winning ways on Saturday in the 145.
In the next race, I've gone for Caribus, another Godolphin colt by Debawi. Came second by only a neck in the Group 2 last time out, and I think he should be too good for the rest of this field.
Yeah, I mean, Caribus, remember his last run? How did he not win it?
Yeah.
It was literally like
incredible.
Oh, it was ridiculous. And, again, I must mention, I did put on a little anti-post bet for Caribus to win the 2,000 guineas at 12 to 1. I think he shortened a little bit to 10s. And again,
wins tomorrow, dim favour.
That exactly, mate. That's what I think. If he wins tomorrow, obviously, I mean, how did he not win last time out? It was quite ridiculous. But look, he tracked the leader. Any other day he wins that race. And I think obviously Saturday at Newmarket for Buick and Appleby, it could be quite a good day for them too. I think some of the rides at Buick's
haven't they?
Exactly. And I mean, obviously, you could say it's a bit boring to go for horses like this, picking these up, but we think it's you can't say anything beating them. I don't think.
Just to confirm, you're with Caribus there, yeah?
I am, mate. Yeah, sorry, I am with Caribus as well. Yeah.
Right. So in the next race, 255 Newmarket, I've gone for Native Trail again.
Yeah.
Another Godolphin colt. They've got so many great colts here this weekend.
Yeah.
Got great Group 1 form over in Curragh last time out.
He was very impressive.
Previously unbeaten Point Lonsdale by 3.5 lengths. Looks a very smart horse, and he's another one that I think should be too good for the rest of this field as well.
Yeah.
So that's my pick there.
Yeah, I've gone for the same as well. I mean, odds on should do the business. And just to mention there, obviously the yard had, remember Pinatubo landed this exact same race 3 years ago before following up in this contest. Current favourite.
What a horse he was as well, by the way, Pinatubo.
Yeah. Current favourite for the 2,000 guineas. Obviously, you just mentioned Caribus there for the 2,000 guineas, but that would be some sort of horses to enter, wouldn't it? For the Charlie Appleby team. Well clear on ratings, big player. Odds on, can't see it losing.
Yeah.
So we both gone for Native Trail there. So in the 335, is this the big handicap?
Yeah, I've gone for a biggie here.
There we go.
If this wins, I'm either going to look really clever, or if it loses, I could look like a bit of an idiot. I've gone for Roginski. He's actually a 50 to 1 shot. Trained by Tom Dascombe, who has a 27% strike rate over the last 14 days. Ridden by Pierre-Louis Jamin, who has a 25% strike rate over the last 14 days. We'll also love the current going, should it stay the same, having won 2 out of 2 on this type of ground as well. So I've gone with a bit of a big one. I mean, we see what happens when horses love the ground, like in the Arc. I mean, never know, do you?
No, I
Especially in
mean,
big handicaps like that.
I,
We
ho-
said
I,
it before so many times. Anything can happen in them type of races.
I hope you're backing that each way on Saturday.
Yeah,
You've got to have a couple of quid on
yeah,
that now.
definitely, 100%.
Yeah, I've gone for Elysian Flame.
Yeah,
Quite a solid horse actually. I mean, 16-1 at the moment, bit of a big price. If he's quite flexible regarding the ground, and is actually having quite a good season.
hmm
The way he's been running. Um, Winning a useful 2 mile Newbury event in April. And then, followed up in handicaps at Ascot and Goodwood. Needs to do a bit more to win, but again, flexible regarding the ground, very likely to run well again. Big handicap, I think he's got a bit of a chance. So
what odds is he? Sorry,
he's currently 16-1.
decent. Yeah,
So yeah, Elysian Flame for me in the big. What is it? 30? How many runners there is?
I think it's 36.
I
I'm
mean
pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean that could
Be
if you could
interesting.
get pulled out before, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
huge handicap. And does that lead us on to the penultimate one?
Yep. 4:10 Newmarket.
That's it.
I've gone for Gail Meyer. She's in good form, having won her last 2 races, bidding to make it a hat trick, proven on the going and over the distance as well, and has form over a few horses in this race.
Yeah, I've gone for Chicoya for
Mm.
James Doyle, the Doyler on board. Hugo Palmer trains. 3-year-old. All 4 of her wins have come over 6 furlongs. Look better than ever when getting up close at home at Chelmsford 3 weeks ago on ill weather. Shaped well on both her outings here as well at Newmarket, including when 4th in a Group 3 in April, which I think is quite good form. So I think she's a bit of a key player there, and I think James Doyle on board. Yeah, I think that's a very strong pick for me. I think that's got a very good chance.
Yeah, that's decent, mate.
Yeah, good form. I like the form with that. Yeah, Chicoya for me.
Yeah.
And the last race, the 4:45 at Newmarket.
I know we're going to have the same one here anyway. So I've got Mostadaf, and I know you will as well.
I have. Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Obviously, I've tracked him for a while. He's won me some money before when I've been at the races at Sandown. Has great form, bar one race where he came up against the likes of Poetic Flair and Lucky Vega. So it just shows the quality he was up against. I think he came 12th out of 13, but I mean, just put that down to a bad day at the office. Bounced back after that. Jim Crowley obviously takes the ride. He's actually got a 35% strike rate over the last 14 days as well. So he's in great form, Jim Crowley. So yeah, I've gone for Mostadaf.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really add much more onto that, as I've gone for Mostadaf as well. Won his last race as well in quite nice fashion. And like you say, you obviously got to see him at Sandown, didn't you?
Yeah, ran a great race that day.
Yeah, no, looks a strong horse for the John and Fady Gosden team. So yeah, I mean, obviously a couple of strong horses in that meeting on Saturday. So obviously we've got a couple of the same, but no, it looks a decent card. So interested to see who comes out on top in the tipping competition between the 2 of us.
Yep, looking forward to it.
And that takes us on. Shall we wrap up this week's pod with our naps for the weekend?
Yep.
You can go with yours first.
I've gone with All Mankind in the 150 at Chepstow. Over the jumps. I've gone, like I said, All Mankind, Grade 1 winner over fences last season, dropping back in grade over hurdles here.
Yeah,
I think I've got high hopes for him this season, and he's also had a wind up, which hopefully should help him. So I think he's 2-1, but yeah, that's my nap.
No, good horse. Hopefully you can make it 2 out of 2 for your naps then.
hopefully. Hopefully.
I need to get a nap on the board. Obviously, first episode, my nap ended up being a non-runner. So, and my nap last week, beholden. Just quickly touch on her, just very briefly. She ran a very good race actually. She was top weight. Ground weren't the best, and she, I think with a furlong or so out, she was winning, and then ended up coming third. But she ran really well, and I think just the weight sort of had an effect that day.
I think she was carrying an awful amount of weight.
Yeah.
I think she's carrying 9 stone 7 compared to some horses in the race, I think, carrying less than 9 stone. So it was always going to be difficult for her. But like you said, I don't think she's lost anything in defeat, to be honest.
Not at all. I mean, I hopefully see her out soon again, bouncing back. But for this weekend, Saturday's nap, I've ventured out a bit here. I've ventured out a bit. I've gone over to Chelmsford Saturday night racing. I've had a little look through, go for something different. I've picked out the last race at Chelmsford on Saturday at 8:30. I've gone for Kentucky Kingdom, who I mean, you know me, mate. I love a horse who loves the course and distance form.
Yeah.
I like that about a horse. He knows sort of he or she wins, a race, and I think that goes a long way. Kentucky Kingdom in the 8:30 at Chelmsford has a tremendous record at this venue, and he's chanced to make it 4 course and distance wins on Saturday night. Wasn't disgraced at Newbury last race when it wasn't run to suit really last time out. Should get back on track here, and I think sort of 3-time course and distance winner. I mean, latest win there was in August, but like I say, return to the venue has to be taken seriously, and I think Kentucky Kingdom, he'll go on to make it 4 out of 4 at Chelmsford, and that's my nap for the Saturday's racing, mate.
Decent, mate. Lovely.
So we'll get them up on our socials and that. And I mean, we did obviously, and just quickly mention that last week's episode, we did say we'd have a guest on, but that hopefully touch wood, will be our next episode.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
And we'll
be a good one.
Yeah, we'll keep everyone updated on our Twitter. So yeah, you got anything else to mention, mate? Or was that it?
That's it, mate.
Yeah.
Lovely going over all that with you.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the next one.
Definitely. So yeah, if anyone new listening wants to follow us on Twitter, we're at FPTP Podcast. On Instagram, First Past the Post Pod, and obviously on YouTube as well, where you can we upload our podcast episodes on there as well. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, First Past the Post Podcast. And yeah, that's a wrap again. So 3rd episode down. Enjoyed it, mate. We'll be back hopefully soon, very, very soon with our guest. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed listening again, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye bye.